Hello, NS Elementary. It's Miss Bakerstall, ESL teacher here. And today we are again in my kitchen and we are going to focus on healthy snacks today and the concept of what are ants on a log. Okay, so you may or may not know ants, and here's a picture of a red ant. Ants are community insects. They're community insects because they work together. They work together to get a job done. They cooperate. To cooperate means to work together. If you want a really good example about how ants work together, you need to watch the Disney movie A Bug's Life. There you'll see how when the ants get interrupted, when they're all walking in a line, they don't know what to do because they are a community and they're used to being together and working together. Well, there's a healthy snack that my mom used to make me when I was growing up called ants on a log. Okay, so we're gonna make that today. We're actually gonna make about 3 or 4 different versions of ants on a log because peanut butter is a major part of that snack and not all of you can eat peanut butter, so I wanted to give you different options. But before we start, what do? Well, we make sure we have a clean surface. So I've already cleaned the surface of my counter. We want to make sure we don't make people sick by the germs that could be on our countertop. If food fell off of the cutting board I'm using and there were germs on it and then people ate it, they might get sick. Next, I washed my hands. I used antibacterial hand soap and made sure that there were no germs on my hands before I start. Okay, so what are our logs that we're using? You can see here is a picture of a log, but we can't really eat that, right? So what are we gonna do? We're gonna make some logs. So I'm gonna take my celery, there's a vocabulary word for today, my celery, and I am going to cut off the end with one of my tools, my knife. So we have tools that we use in the kitchen. A knife is one of them. I'm cutting on top of another tool, my cutting board, okay? So we're gonna take the celery apart. See all of our logs? I don't use the inside of the celery. I know some people who cook use the inside, but I'm not that good. I have no idea what this is used for. So I'm gonna put it over here. And next, we are gonna wash our logs or our vegetables. Vegetables come out of the ground, and the ground often has dirt that stays on the vegetables. Okay, here are our logs. All right. Now, I like my logs when I make ants on a log snacks to be a little bit shorter. I want to make sure I can make as many snacks as possible. All right, so let's start with the traditional ants on a log. We have peanut butter. And we're gonna need raisins because guess what? Raisins are our ants. Just like you see the ants in this line, raisins kind of look like that. We have another tool. This is a butter knife. A butter knife is very different from a knife you use to chop with because a butter knife isn't sharp. Now, I wouldn't run my hand across this knife. This is a very sharp knife. So let's make our first ants on a log. So we need our log and our butter knife and peanut butter. Ooh, peanut butter's not wanting to cooperate today. Okay, now we have our log. Let's get our ants. So here's our ants. And ants cooperate. They work as a team. They're in a line. They're all going somewhere together. And there's our first ants on a log. Now, what if you can't eat peanut butter? Well, there are other options. Let me wash the peanut butter off my hands. Okay, can't eat peanut butter? Well, guess what? Cream cheese can be an option. This is cream cheese. Cream cheese is a soft kind of cheese that many people put on bagels, but it is possible to make ants on a log from cream cheese. Get another butter knife. See the cream cheese? It's very soft. I bet some of you like cream cheese. So here is our next log and our ants all in a line, working together. There's our second ants on a log. Now, sometimes if my mom was feeling generous, the ants would turn into M&Ms. So, cream cheese. So we have our healthy ants on a log and maybe our not so healthy ants on a log. Now, if I'm putting M&Ms on my logs, I like it with cream cheese still. It tastes really good. And you're still eating vegetables, right? Yeah, your logs are vegetables. And cream cheese is pretty healthy. It has a lot of protein in it. Now, here are ants in a line, working together. There's our third ants on a log. Okay? And for our last, I like guacamole. This is guacamole. Guacamole is made from avocados and different types of spices that you might have. Now, I did not make my own guacamole. I bought some. Grab a spoon. So, guacamole, and what are your ants going to be? How about tomatoes? Tomatoes come in a lot of different colors. There's orange and yellow. It's kind of a dark red tomato. So these are going to be our ants with guacamole on a log. So here we go. Here's our log. Here's the guacamole, our crushed avocado. I'm going to cut up our ants. And one more ant. And here's your guacamole and tomato ants on a log. I think there's one more. Whoa! What are you doing in my kitchen again? You want a carrot? Huh? Carrot? Carrot? Yeah. All right. Okay, our last ants on a log is going to have bell peppers in them. I'll bet at the grocery store you've seen green bell peppers, but have you ever seen bell peppers that look like this? This is a hybrid bell pepper of a yellow and a red, and they planted them together, and we have red and orange ants. So what am I going to use? I guess I could use guacamole, or I could use cream cheese with bell peppers. I like guacamole a lot, so let's use that. Here's our log, getting ready for our ants in a line, working together, headed for my stomach. Okay? That's really good. Highly recommend guacamole and bell peppers on your logs. So that's our example today of easy snacks you can do at home, which are healthy for you. Next week we'll go back to comfort food, and I'm going to be making chicken and rice. I'll see you next time. Bye.